That's the intro. Welcome to Crack the Egg Podcast, Season 2, Eggisode
1.
Dang!
Yes! We're back and better than ever.
This season we're talking all about indie artists.
Because it's a vibe. And the Christian genre is more than just what you may think.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through some of our favorite artists and our favorite songs that they have and just help you guys explore a little more.
Yeah. Discover some new vibes. So, today we're talking about
Vagabond
by
Ryan Shirley. Obviously, it's titled Vagabond. The definition of like a vagabond is a wanderer. Usually, it was like a fugitive, or you were like exiled, and or another like one is just having no fixed place of dwelling, like no home. And in the Bible a lot, it was used like negatively. So, for example, in Genesis, whenever Cain kills Abel, and then the Lord is talking to him, he like kind of like curses him and is like, you will be a vagabond. You're not gonna have anywhere to necessarily like be, like you're just always gonna be moving around. And there's just other places too where it's just like it'll say maybe like restless wonder. There's different like ways that it says it in the versions, but it's all basically like talking about a vagabond. But something that's cool that I'll just kind of open this up with is something I read on a website that I don't remember what it was, but it was a website. And it said, living as a vagabond because of laziness is nothing to be proud of, but being forced into the vagabond life for Jesus' sake is a form of persecution that will be rewarded in eternity.
That's so good. Because we're not supposed to be of this world.
Yes, facts. Yeah, it's just because I think that really like helps put into perspective that like, because the Bible uses it like either way, and I feel like for a lot of things it can be like, you know, it can be turned into something bad or good. Like when we talk about idols, it's like, you know, similar. Like, is what you're doing, do you have a heart for Jesus behind it, or do you have like some other intentions? So but yeah, Genesis 4:12, if you work the ground, it will never again give you its yield. You will be a restless wonder on the earth. So like in this version it says restless wonder. Psalm 109:10, which says, this is David talking. He's like, I'll just read from 6, but it says, set a wicked person over him. Let an accuser stand at his right hand when he is judged. Let him be found guilty, and let his prayer be counted as sin. Let his days be few. Let another take over his position. Let his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow. Let his children wander as beggars, searching for food far from their demolished homes. So verse 10 is like, that's like more of like in the negative way of saying like,
yeah, both of these examples were for the negative type of vagabond. Did we want to read any of the verses?
Sure, you can read it.
Okay. I know I was lost. I know I've been found. But why don't I feel at home on this ground? I've lived and I've loved. It's still not enough. I'm longing to know what waits up above.
It's so good. I just love it. I feel like that's like such... like this whole first verse is such a common feeling for Christians, like just feeling like you, like we know in our heads like the things like that we're saved by grace, that Jesus died for us, that we're chosen, that we're loved by God. Like we know all these things, but sometimes it's just like I don't like feel like I just don't feel that. Like why don't I feel that? And, like, sometimes it's just, like, I just want to, like, be in heaven already. And, like, I just want to be there already. But
why do you think we feel that way?
I feel like it's, like, we just want it, like, easy. Like, we
Yeah.
don't want to have to, like, go through this life anymore, because, like, it's not easy.
No. Yeah.
And, like, you know, heaven will be pretty epic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so hard to see. For me, it's like I can't wait to get to heaven because I'm sick and tired of this world. Because it's so hard to see, like, people that you love and or family members going the wrong way or making the wrong choices, and it's like you want to tell them, and you do, or sometimes you do tell people about Jesus and the good news, and you try to be an example, but they don't listen.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're missing out on so much. Like, you think everything in this world is, I'm probably going off on, I should stop doing that. But, like, you think everything in this world, you think that what you're doing right now is so fun and stuff, but it's like, this world is not it. We're supposed to be living for heaven, you know? Like, we're supposed to be evangelizing and making disciples and living a life worth living, you know? Not just wasting it away. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, I'm gonna piggyback off that, because one of the things that, like, annoys me so much is, like, when people complain and are just so negative about, like, the life, like, not even, like, physically the life they have, but just, like, I don't know, when they're just so, like, negative about, like,
Everything?
yeah, well, yeah, you know, that, yeah. I don't know, okay, I don't know, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but, like, if you're gonna be here, you know, we have a reason to live here, like, we have a reason we're on this earth.
Yeah.
And there's so many good things about it that, like, we just miss out on all that, like, including me. And it's just like, stop just sitting here being a lazy vagabond and start, like, living that life for Jesus. Like, even those, like, you know, there's so many people who say they're Christians, and, like, there's so much more we can be doing with our lives. Like, there's so much more I can be doing in my life.
Like what?
Like, loving others, and, like, there's being intentional with pursuing other people, which I'm not very good at. And, like, I don't know. Like, yeah, the world sucks, but are we, like, even trying to be a light? Are we even, like, trying to, like, bring God's love into the world? But, I mean, it's so hard, but...
Yeah, I wanted to dig deeper into what do you mean complaining? Like, complaining in what way?
Like, my life sucks, every day is boring, and, or I'm just doing the same thing over and over, or... I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand. So, like, bored with the routine of life and of your everyday instead of doing something about it, like by living in God's desire for us.
Yeah, like pursuing Him every day. Because,
Yeah.
like, it really just makes a big difference. Like, anytime, like, even when I'm, like, I find myself, like, I'm just, like, bored going through each day, it's like, I know that whenever I pursue God, and even if I'm not necessarily, like, reading the Bible, but when I'm, like, going to coffee with two godly women, like, it's just so much more fulfilling, and it, like, this day is so exciting because I'm hanging out with you guys, and now we're, like, recording this podcast, and I don't know, there's just, like, it makes life so much more fun.
Yeah, I agree. You want me to read the next verse?
Yeah, you got it.
Or whatever this is, chorus. Somehow I'm still a vagabond. I walk this earth, but I don't belong. The one day that this road will lead me... Wait.
Whoa.
One day this road will lead me home. Some way. Somehow.
How? That was really good. I like that. Yeah, I mean, I think as a Christian, like, something that you definitely have to, like, grasp early on into your relationship with God is that even though we're here, like, this is not where we belong.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something to look forward to, and there's, like, we shouldn't, like, and just, like, we shouldn't look like the world. Like, we are supposed to be different. Like, that's the whole point of it.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the Matthew verse?
It is Matthew 19:23 through 30. Jesus said to his disciples, "Truly I tell you, it will be hard for a rich person to enter the kingdom of heaven. Again I tell you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter the kingdom of God." When the disciples heard this, they were utterly astonished and asked, "Then who can be saved?" Jesus looked at them and said, "With man this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Then Peter responded to him, "See, we have left everything and followed you. So what will there be for us?" Jesus said to them, "Truly I tell you, in the renewal of all things, when the Son of Man sits on his glorious throne, you who have followed me will also sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And everyone who has left houses or brothers or sisters or father or mother or children or fields, because of my name, will receive 100 times more and will inherit eternal life. But many who are first will be last, and the last first."
Yeah, I was thinking of fox have holes and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of God has nowhere to lay his head. So, like, he's a vagabond, right? Like, he's here. He had a specific mission, and he completed that mission. And that mission was to save us and to die for us and everything. So, like, we should be imitating Christ.
In our life here, we're trying to just grab onto things that we think will
Satisfy.
that we think will make our life more interesting, make our life more fun, but it never works. I can read Ecclesiastes 1.
I was just thinking that.
1 through 11 now.
Woot.
Everything is futile. The words of the teacher, son of David, king in Jerusalem. Absolute futility, says the teacher. Absolute futility. Everything is futile. What does a person gain for all his efforts that he labors at under the sun? A generation goes and a generation comes, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun sets. Panting, it returns to the place where it rises. Gusting to the south, turning to the north, turning goes the wind. And the wind returns in its cycles. All the streams flow to the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place where the streams flow, there they flow again. All things are wearisome, more than anyone can say. The eye is not satisfied by seeing, or the ear filled with hearing. What has been is what will be, and what has been done is what will be done. There is nothing new under the sun. Can one say about anything, "Look, this is new"? It has already existed in the ages before us. There is no remembrance of those who came before, and of those who will come after. There will also be no remembrance by those who follow them.
It makes me think of, like, if somebody that didn't know Jesus read that, what are they talking about? Like, technology is always changing and growing, right? But, like, even with these technological advances, we still go through the same thing as people, right? Like, insecurities or comparison to others and all of that. But in fact, I feel like it's amplified the more technology grows. So my whole point in that is, like, there's nothing new under the sun. Like, the Bible is true, right? Like, we think we're going through a new experience or whatever, but, like,
Maybe this time it'll be different.
Right. Like, even with repeat friendships, right? Like, friendships that have hurt you, and you try to to make it better, or I can, like, I think of, like, even, like, relationship, like a boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, soul type of relationship. Like, this time it'll be better. I could change him, or I could change her. And it's like, no, only God can. Anyway, but, yeah. It's just crazy how we live in this world and we think it's different and it's new, but it's not. It's really not.
The thing I'm thinking of right now is, like, cigarettes. And now it's, like, advanced into vapes.
Yeah.
And, like, but it's all the same.
Right.
It's all badness.
Yeah, yeah.
Nicotine, just in a different form.
Right.
But still, like, just as bad and empty.
Right. Dang, that's a good example.
Thank you.
What else?
1 John 2:15 through 17. Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride in one's possessions, is not from the Father, but is from the world. And the world with its lust is passing away, but the one who does the will of God remains forever.
I think of all the compromises we make, right? Like, I get bored, and I try to find a new show, and it's like, oh, this is a good show. And then it's like cussing or things that I don't agree with, let's just say that. And it's like, man, should I really be watching this? But it's entertaining. Or like with jokes. That's another thing that I'm really bad at. Like, some jokes are funny, but they're not something that I should be joking around. Like,
it doesn't glorify God.
Exactly. I don't know. We're supposed to be different. We're supposed to be an example. We should be a light. But we're not. Like, most of the time we're not. And we're not because it's like, for the imitator stand that we did today, like, I wrote, like, we need to know God so that we know what we're imitating. If we don't know God, if we don't know him, if we're not pursuing him, being in our word, because that's, like, something that I'm really have been struggling with for the past couple of months. Like, but I need to be in his word. Why? The one most important thing in the whole entire world. Yeah. Why am I not pursuing him and being in his word and, like, learning and praying? Like, do I not think prayer, like, is powerful? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I kind of sometimes don't, because it's like, people are still going to make stupid choices. So can you really change them? That's my question recently. But it's like, I don't know. I have to have faith and trust and believe, because the Lord is all powerful and all knowing, and he knows what he's doing.
Like, in relation to the whole, like, vagabond idea is, like, this place isn't our home, like we said. And if we want to show others that this, like, this world, this life is, like, there's something better, we need to live that out. So people are asking you, like, why are you so joyful whenever, like, this is going on? Or why do you carry yourself the way you do? Or, like, I don't know, you know.
You act different, yeah.
So you can be like, well,
Jesus.
Exactly. You caught my drift. I'm going to read Hebrews 11:8 through 16. By faith, Abraham, when he was called, obeyed and set out for a place that he was going to receive as an inheritance. He went out even though he did not know where he was going. By faith, he stayed as a foreigner in the land of promise, living in tents, as did Isaac and Jacob, co-heirs of the same promise. For he was looking forward to the city that has foundations, whose architect and builder is God. By faith, even Sarah herself, when she was unable to have children, received power to conceive offspring, even though she was past age, since she considered that the one who had promised was faithful. Therefore, from one man, in fact, from one as good as dead, came offspring, as numerous as the stars of the sky, and as innumerable as the grains of sand along the seashore. These all died in faith, although they had not received the things that were promised. But they saw them from a distance, greeted them, and confessed that they were foreigners and temporary residents on the earth. Now those who say such things make it clear that they are seeking a homeland. If they were thinking about where they came from, they would have had an opportunity to return. But they now desire a better place, a heavenly one. Therefore, God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he has prepared a city for them.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, imagine... I was going to say, imagine dying. And you didn't receive what you thought you were going to get. But, like, you still have that faith.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Imagine if God never gave you anything you wanted. Would you still... Yeah.
He doesn't have to.
Right. Would you still be faithful?
Yeah.
Dang.
That is crazy, though, because especially, like, in our society, in our world, it's just instant gratification. Like, we're in the
self-love, bro.
drive-through, like, McDonald's, and we don't get our french fries after, like, 3 minutes of waiting in line. We're like,
it's fast food.
Or, like, we are already home and they forgot our fries, and it's like,
yeah, you Karen.
It's the end of the world.
I Karen.
But, like, man, like, God already did so much for us.
Yeah.
Like, he sent his one and only son to die for us, and, like, that should be enough to get us to the end of our lives.
Right. And then it's like, if you don't get what you want, you better go get it. You better put your girl boss pants on.
Girl boss pants. That's so funny.
I was thinking of the bad one, boss B.
True.
Yeah. So, like, you gotta get what you want. Take the bull by the horns. Yeah. Sayings are hard for me.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I don't know. It's just, that is a challenging verse because it's like, could I do that? Like, is my faith strong enough that I could go through life with all of its seasons and trials and still, like, be okay with that?
Yeah. Do we have enough faith? Do we have enough trust? Do we even have enough relationship with Jesus? You know? Because I feel like when we do seek him, it's a peace that surpasses all understanding, right? And yeah. And I wish we were better. But at the same time, we shouldn't complain all the time, right? And just do what we need to do. Yeah.
Stop complaining. Just do what you need to do and love Jesus. I like how, like, the second half of 13 is kind of like, I don't know, I feel like it gives a good, like, reason kind of to why they were able to do that. It's because they knew that they were temporary residents on the earth.
Yeah.
Like, they knew that
there was more.
Yeah, like, there's, even if you are promised, say, a child, like, despite that, you're still going to be living and you'll be in heaven and it's going to be beautiful and like so much better than anything on this world, even if, like, we're promised it.
Right. Yeah. Beautiful. Should I move on? I hear golden streets calling me, but there's still dirt underneath my feet. Stuck this side of eternity to... Wait. Do I have everything? Stuck this side of eternity today for now. That's all I have.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
It just kind of repeats this stuff. But yeah, that's like the second half of the chorusy thing. Now I will read this. I'm reading Revelation 21. Oh, yeah. I literally wrote it right there. I'm skipping on the part where it reads all the gems because I can't read all those. If you want to read about all the gems, you can read them and read them in your head. So
not out loud and say
so you don't embarrass yourself. I mean, maybe you're an expert in the gems. I don't know, but I'm not, so I'm starting at 21. The 12 gates are 12 pearls. Each individual gate was made of a single pearl. The main street of the city was pure gold, transparent glass. I did not see a temple in it because the Lord God, the Almighty, and the Lamb are its temple. The city does not need the sun or the moon to shine on it because the glory of God illuminates it, and its lamp is the Lamb. The nations will walk by its light, and the kings of the earth will bring their glory into it. Its gates will never close by day because it will never be night there. They will bring the glory and honor of the nations into it. Nothing unclean will ever enter it, nor anyone who's not who does what is detestable or false, but only those written in the Lamb's book of life.
I don't know. Heaven sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm,
And we can't even understand it.
I know. It's like, I was talking to Luke yesterday, and I was like, there's, like, parts of, like, Christianity that I'm just, like, content with not knowing. Like, like, even though we have this description, nobody can really, like, know what heaven's going to look like.
Right.
And I'm content with that. But also, like, even just the little, like, descriptions that we do have, like, it sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even fathom that.
Right.
I don't know. When we were, like, kind of brainstorming how we could apply this, something that we haven't really talked about yet is just, like, how the team should be a family and, like, have relationship. And, I mean, obviously, like, it should be like that in the church. And something I noticed that I think it really helped, like, the youth team, worship team this past year is, like, we weren't perfect. But for the, I would say for the most part, like, we all walked in relationship with each other, and it just changes the way that, like, you communicate, and it just makes you a better team, which your team, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to connect both the song and what we were talking about. So, like, because we're different, we're living vagabonds of the world, then we should be that more family oriented instead of self oriented. Like we were saying that we have to be like put the bootstraps on and take care of ourselves, and I don't know what the sayings are. I suck at sayings. But like instead of that, always looking out for self, we should be looking out for our family, our team, and taking care of each other.
Yeah. And go listen to Vagabond because it's a vibe. Add it to the playlist, dog.
We need to add it to our playlist.
Oh, yeah, true.
Check out our playlist.
Yeah, we have a playlist, guys. Yeah. It has all the songs that we have done. And we add to it every time.
Yeah. Speaking of things, review us so that we get pushed in the algorithm, you know what I mean? If you care about us, you'd review us.
We have to look like sad puppies.
Push.
You like those sad puppy commercials that makes you want to adopt a dog?
Yes!
Yeah.
I mean, I always want to adopt a dog.
True. Yeah, tell your friends.
Like, subscribe, share. Follow on Spotify.
On Instagram, too. We have
podcast.
an account that I never post on. Follow that one. Serve with excellence.
And glorify God in everything we do.
Woo!
Yeah!